Introducing a fully modular premium shop UI system built for UEFN. Production-ready, fully customizable, and fully compatible with Epic's V-Bucks marketplace, supporting regular items, bundles, dynamic sales, and pagination. You can create and configure every item directly from the editor with no need to modify the verse code. The project is available now on my Patreon, and full support is always available on Discord. Let's take a look at how it works. With a single click, the premium shop opens instantly. At the top, you can see individual item cards, and at the bottom, a featured large bundle designed to immediately capture attention. Clicking through the pagination buttons reveals multiple pages of content. Now, selecting an item and clicking Unlock initiates the purchase flow. Switching to the Bundles tab. Here, bundle items are displayed in a different configuration, showcasing how flexible the tab system is. Each tab can have its own layout, structure, and logic, fully modular and customizable. If the item has already been purchased, the system intelligently reflects that state, preventing duplicate purchases and maintaining clean user logic. Now let's take a closer look at the limited sale items. Each item comes with a live countdown timer. You can see exactly when this offer will expire. And here's where it gets interesting. When the timer reaches 0, the item doesn't just disappear, it gets automatically replaced. Watch this. This item was not visible before. It was sitting inside a predefined pool. As soon as the active sale item expired, the system instantly pulled the next item from that pool and displayed it in its place. After purchasing the product, you will receive this zip file called YK Premium Shop Version 1. Always make sure you are using the latest version, because I will continue updating this product. If there are any bug fixes or improvements, they will be updated in the Patreon shop, and you can always download the latest version from there after purchase. Now let's see how to set it up. Right-click the zip file and select Extract All. Inside, you will find the Premium Shop UI folder. Open it. In the UI Assets folder, you will find all the images and PSD files. For example, if you want to change the color of this tab button, modify its shape, or customize anything, you can edit these PSD files, export the images again, and simply re-import them into Unreal. Everything will continue to work. You will also find the Shop UI background file here. If you want to modify the layout, change the colors, or adjust the design, you can use this file as a starting point. You can also create your own shop UI completely and implement it with the system. And if you ever need help implementing your custom design, you can always reach out to me on Discord. I'll be happy to help you integrate your shop design into the script. Now let's see how to import the premium shop into your project. Open the verse script folder and copy everything from here. Then open your project. In the content browser, right-click your project folder. For example, in this case, it is Migrated Example, and click Show in Explorer. Here, simply right-click and paste everything. You will now see all the folders copied into your project. As you can see, the YK Creations UI folder is here, containing all the materials, UI templates, and other assets. Before doing anything else, click the Compile Verse button once so all the verse files compile. After compiling, you will see the verse scripts appear. Now you can drag and drop the device into your level, and you will see everything already set up. This is a basic example showing how tabs work, including how to create tabs, how to configure a multi-list tab, and how pagination works. You can look at this setup as a reference and copy the same structure to create your own tabs. I will also explain this in detail later in the video. Now, when you launch the session for the first time, UEFN might show some errors. There is no need to panic. These are only validation warnings. Simply click OK, run Fix-Up, and the system will automatically resolve them. After that, click Save All and launch the session again. As you can see, everything launches successfully. Now we will move on to setting up the shop, creating more tabs, adding items, and I will explain everything step by step in the rest of the video. Now let's look at how to set up the Premium Shop. Inside the project, open the YK Creations UI folder. Go into UI Templates, and then open the Premium Shop UI folder. Simply drag and drop this Verse device into your level. Next, add a button device. Connect that button to the Open Shop button property inside the Shop device settings. And that's it. The Shop UI is now ready. At this point, no items have been configured yet, but if you press play, you'll immediately see the UI appear. The predefined tabs, featured, and bundles are already set up. That confirms the script is running correctly. Right now, it's just the base structure, ready for you to start adding your own items and configurations. Now let's look at how to create new tabs and add items. In the tabs section, you'll see the existing tabs expanded, featured, and bundles. Each tab has a name property. Whatever you enter here will automatically appear on the tab button in the UI. Now I'm clicking the plus icon to add a new entry in the tabs array. Let's create a new tab called Weapons. Once added, you'll notice it contains a Pages array. This is where we define the layout of that tab. Inside Pages, you can control the layout orientation, vertical or horizontal. Then we have the Slots array. Think of this like building UI inside a widget canvas. Inside the widget field, you'll select My Dynamic List. This is a custom component. You can think of it like a stack box that updates dynamically through code. All the shop items we create will be injected into this dynamic list automatically. If you expand the dynamic list settings, you'll see something called List Container ID. Think of this like an address. You can assign any unique string here. Later, when we define shop items in the items array, we specify which list they belong to by using the same ID. If the ID matches, the system automatically connects them. That's how the code knows where each item should appear. There are two available templates: Premium Offer Item Template, Premium Bundle Item Template. For this example, we'll select the Offer Item Template. That means every item inside this list will use that template structure. If you open the template itself, you'll see things like string bindings. If you're just using the system as is, you don't need to modify anything here. This is more advanced customization. I'll be creating full documentation explaining this in detail, and if needed, support is always available. For now, we'll close this and continue with the basics. Next, you'll see items per row, rows per page. This controls the page layout. How many items should appear in a single row? How many rows should appear on one page? For example, with the Offer Item Template, 3 items fit comfortably in one row. And depending on spacing, you can add multiple rows per page. You can experiment freely here. One important thing: the widget layout preview you're seeing here is only for visualization. The actual UI hierarchy is already handled in code. You don't need to manually build the UI structure. This preview just helps you understand spacing and layout, like how much space an item occupies and how many can fit per row or page. You're not restricted to a single layout style. If you want, offer items on both rows. You can do that. Bundle items on the first row and sale items on the second. You can do that too. Everything is configurable. You control how each tab looks and behaves. All right, so we're back at items per row and rows per page. Right now, we're inside our Weapons tab. For this tab, I only want to display offer items across the entire page. So let's open the layout preview for a second. This is how the offer item list looks visually. Now, based on this design, I can clearly see how much space each offer item takes. So what I want is 3 items per row, 2 rows per page. Now we'll start setting the layout values. First, items per row, set this to 3. Rows per page, set this to 2. That matches the layout we saw in the preview. Setting orientation. Now let's check the orientation. Look at the dynamic list in the widget preview. You can see it's set to horizontal. So we'll do the same thing here, orientation horizontal. Always double check this so your configuration matches the actual widget layout. Now this padding here, this is item padding. This controls spacing for each individual item inside the list. For example, if you want top padding equals 5, bottom padding equals 5, you set it here. And that padding will apply to every item inside this list automatically. Right now, we'll keep it as is. Next is row padding. This is the spacing between rows, meaning the spacing between two horizontal lists stacked vertically. In our case, both values are 0, so we'll leave it at 0. No changes needed. Alignment settings. Now check the alignment. Horizontal alignment, fill. Vertical alignment, fill. That matches our widget layout, so everything here is correct. And that's it. This is how you create and configure a new tab layout. Now, if we launch the session, you'll see a new tab called Weapons. There will be a tab button automatically created, but the page will still be empty. Why? Because we haven't added any items to this tab yet, and that's what we'll do next. Before adding items, let's quickly check the Weapons tab. If we open the shop now, you'll see the Weapons tab button is there, but the page is completely empty. Also notice, there are no pagination buttons here yet. I'll explain how to add pagination later. For now, let's focus only on adding actual items. Go back to the device. Ignore featured and bundles for now. Scroll down to the shop items array. Click the plus icon. Now it asks for content container ID. This must match the list container ID of the dynamic list where you want these items to appear. Earlier, inside the Weapons tab, we created one dynamic list. Its name was something like My Weapons tab. So copy that exact name. Paste it into Content Container ID. This is extremely important. If the ID does not match exactly, your items will not appear. Just to clarify something, you can have more than one dynamic list inside a single tab. For example, in the Featured tab, if we open it Pages Slots, you'll see 3 entries. The last one is Pagination. We'll cover that later. But the first 2 are both dynamic lists. One is Featured Offer List. The second is Featured Bundle List. Each has its own container ID, its own template, its own items per row, its own rows per page. For example, Offer List, 3 items per row, 1 row per page. Bundle List, 1 item per row, 1 row per page. Because in that layout, I only wanted 1 bundle item per page. Same logic applies in the Bundles tab. There's only 1 dynamic list there. Items per row equals 1. Rows per page equals 2. Because bundle items are large and take more space. Now let's come back to the Weapons tab. Now you can see inside Shop Items, we have the Content Container ID field. This is where we define which tab, or more specifically, which dynamic list, these items should appear in. Right below that, you'll see Max Active Sales Slot. We'll discuss what that does later when we set up sale items. For now, we're not touching it. Now let's actually add an item. Inside the items array, click the plus. You'll see 3 item types: bundled item, regular item, sale shop item. Let's select regular item. Now you'll see multiple properties. The most important one first, entitlement slot. We currently have 20 predefined slots. This is not a hard limit. You can increase it later. But here's the rule. Every shop item must have a unique entitlement slot. No duplicates. 1 slot per item. Next is UID. This must also be unique for every item. No 2 items should share the same UID. Now name. Let's call this shotgun. Description. Set anything. Short description. Set anything. These are not required to be unique. Choose an icon. This will appear on the card. Now price. This follows Epic's marketplace rules. Price must be minimum 50, maximum 5,000. In valid increments like 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, and so on. It cannot be random values. Item count defines how many times a player can purchase it. If set to 1, the player can only own it once. This trigger fires when the purchase is successful. Connect whatever gameplay logic you want here. For now, I'll just connect a test trigger. Now I'll duplicate this item multiple times. Let's create 5 total. For each one, change the entitlement slot, must be unique. Change the UID, must be unique. Optionally change name and icon for visual clarity. Adjust price if needed. Now let's test. I haven't even pushed major changes. Let's see if it works. Open the shop. Go to Weapons. And there they are. Now let's try purchasing. Because item count was set to 1, if I try again, it says I already own this item. Now, if I wanted to add items to the Featured tab instead, create a new entry in Shop Items array. Set the Content Container ID to match the featured offer list. Add the item there. For example, copy one item. Change entitlement slot. Change its UID. Change icon. Now if we open the Featured tab, you'll see the new item there. It's that simple. Now let's see how to set up a sale item. A sale item uses the same blueprint as a regular offer item. The difference is, it shows a countdown timer, it shows a discounted price, it displays a best value icon on top. You can change that icon or its color if you want. That's fully customizable. We're going to add this inside the Weapons tab. Now technically, I can add this inside the same Shop Items array, but just to keep things clean and organized, I'll create a new array entry. So, click plus, paste the same Content Container ID, which is my Weapons tab. Again, this must match exactly. Select Sale Shop Item Type. You'll notice most properties are exactly the same as a regular item. So first, let's go ahead and set all of them. Chat price rules for sale item. Now here's the key difference. Sale items have 2 price fields. Current price, original price. Original price must always be greater than current price. For example, current price 150, original price 250. That creates the discount effect. Epic's pricing rule still applies. Minimum 50, maximum 5,000. Valid increments only. Now let's talk about the most important part, sale end time. This is what makes it a sale item. You define the exact date and time when the item expires. Once that time is reached, the sale item expires, it gets removed or replaced depending on your setup. Here's something important. Previously, you had to manually calculate UTC time. That meant check your local time, convert to UTC, then calculate expiration record. That was annoying, so instead I added predefined time zones. For example, if I'm in India, I select IST. Now I can enter the expiration time in my local time zone. The system automatically converts it to UTC internally, so every player sees the same global expiration moment. No manual calculation needed. Setting expiration example. Let's configure one. So at 4:20 IST, this item will expire. That's it. No extra logic required. Now let me duplicate this item multiple times. Let's create 4 sale items total. For each one, assign a unique entitlement slot. Assign a unique UID. Optionally change the icon. Optionally change the price. Adjust the sale end time. Make sure every entitlement slot is different. Now let's talk about this property. Max active sales slot. This defines how many sale items can be visible at the same time inside that list. Right now, it's set to 1. That means, even if we added 4 sale items, only 1 will appear at a time. The system automatically sorts sale items by their sale end time. The one that is expiring soonest will appear first. If that item expires, the next one becomes active. You also have a property to control whether sorting is enabled or not. So, as you can see here, I've set one sale item to expire in just 1 or 2 minutes. I've updated the dates for all of them, and the max active sale slot is currently set to 1. Now, if I play the game and open the shop in the Weapons tab, you'll see one sale item that's about to expire. When it expires, it will automatically be replaced by another item from the pool. This way, you can add any number of sale items, set their expiry dates accordingly, and they will keep replacing each other as they expire. Once a sale item expires, the player will no longer be able to purchase it. If you want to make it available again, you'll need to update the time and push a new version of your island. You can see it just got replaced by another item. It will keep replacing items until all of them expire. Now, just to show you what happens if I want to display 3 sale items at once, I'll set max active sales to 3. Since I'm adding sale items to the same list as the regular items, meaning their list IDs are the same, sale items will take priority over regular items. The system will sort the list so that the 3 non-expired sale items appear first, and then the regular items follow. Let's refresh. Now you can see 3 sale items here. The rest are regular items. We haven't added pagination yet, which is why we're not seeing the next page, but those items are now on the next page. So let's add pagination. If I open the widget, you'll see that pagination is always the last entry in the slots array. The top entries are where the items appear, and the last one is for the pagination buttons. So what we'll do is go to Tabs, open the Featured tab, go to Slots, copy the last entry, right-click, copy, then go to the Weapons tab, Page, Slots, add a new entry, right-click and paste. This copies the pagination layout and adds it here. You can also set it up manually by matching all the properties. It's centered, it's a stack box entry. You can reference everything from the Featured tab layout if needed. Now if we play and check again, pagination appears. Because we now have items on the next page, the Next button is enabled. We can go to the next page and see all the regular items. Next and Previous both work. If we go to Featured, there are no additional pages, so the pagination buttons are automatically disabled. This is handled automatically in the code. Now, if I set max active sales to 0, we should see no sale items. Let's set it to 0. Now we'll only see the regular items. Pagination will be disabled if everything fits on one page. So, if we go to the Weapons tab now, you'll see that there are no sale items, only regular items, and the pagination is properly disabled. So this is how everything works. So let's quickly see how to add bundle items. It's exactly the same as the others, so I'll go a bit faster. I'm planning to add a bundle item in our Bundles tab. It's not a strict rule to add it there. You can add it to the Weapons tab or anywhere you want. First, I'll copy the dynamic list content ID from the Bundles tab. Then in Shop Items, I'll add a new entry. Paste the content container ID, and inside the items array, I'll select the bundle item type. Here, we have 2 new properties. One of them is the sale end timer. If you want this bundle to behave like a sale item, you can enable it and set a custom date and time. If you leave it as default, it will behave as a regular bundle item. UID must be unique, same as before. Then we set the name, description, whatever you want. I'll leave it as default for now. For the icon, I'll select the item icon. Price, I'll come back to that in a moment. Now inside bundle items, this is where you define what items are included in the bundle. You can add any number of items here using entitlement slots. It's better to use items that already exist as regular or sale items. For example, if I want to include this item, its entitlement slot is 1. So I'll select slot 1 here. Quantity will be 1. Individual price should match the original item's price. Name will be the same. Icon will also be the same. Booster trigger will connect to the same trigger as the original item. Now I'll duplicate this and assign another item. You'll notice we don't need a unique UID for these internal bundle entries, since they are part of the main bundle item. That's how you add items into a bundle. Technically, you can add completely unique items here as well. It's not mandatory that they exist individually in the shop, but usually it's better practice to allow players to buy them individually or as a bundle. The idea is that if they buy the bundle, they get a discount. For example, if each item costs $250 and I include 2 of them, that would normally be $500. But if I set the bundle price to $250, it works like a buy one, get one free. Now let's check it. If we open the Bundles tab, we should see the bundle item. It behaves the same way. It will place 2 bundle items on the first page, then move the remaining ones to the next page, and continue like that accordingly. Now, one important thing, this whole background you're seeing here, this is just a UI layout. If you want to change this design, make it bigger, smaller, move elements around, you can. You don't need to change the system logic for that. You can open the widget and edit it like a normal UI. Let me show you something. If I open this dropdown, you'll see we have a canvas slot. Inside that, we have an overlay. Inside the overlay, we have slots. Now look at the properties. Anchor minimum, anchor maximum, offsets, alignment, size to content. These are standard layout properties. If you change something in your widget layout, you simply replicate those same values here. You are basically mapping your visual layout into this configuration. Now let's scroll down. Here, this is the stack box. You can see the orientation is set to horizontal. Inside it, we have 3 slots. If you compare it to the widget preview, you'll see the exact same structure there. 3 elements inside a horizontal layout. If I add padding here, I match the same padding in the layout. You're essentially copying your layout structure step by step into this configuration panel. Now, inside the widget field, I'm using Premium Shop Background UI. This is already implemented in the system. You don't need to modify any code to use this. If you open this widget, you'll see all the UI elements inside it. For example, selected offer name, selected offer description, price, icon. These are variables exposed to the system. The system automatically binds data to these variables. You don't need to touch that unless you're doing advanced customization. Now here's something very important. Anything that depends on data is dynamic. For example, these shop items here, dynamic. These tab buttons, dynamic. If you create 3 tabs, you automatically get 3 tab buttons. If you assign items to a specific list container ID, those items automatically appear inside that list. You never manually place them. The system handles it. And that's the complete Premium Shop UI system in action. From dynamic tabs and pagination to sale timers, bundles, and full V-Bucks marketplace support. Everything is designed to be modular, scalable, and editor-driven, with no need to modify the verse code. If you'd like to use this system in your own project, it's available now on my Patreon. And if you need help, customization, or technical guidance, you can join my Discord. Support is always available.